mysterious, timeless, intriguing, symbolic, fascinating, expressive. These are all words we use to describe the art of ancient Egypt. They are also words we use to describe modern art. Both ancient Egyptian art objects and works of modern art are complex reflections of their time. And when seen side by side, these seemingly disparate eras in art production become remarkably similar. Uncanny visual connections surface, although they are 5,000 years apart. How is this so? What accounts for these visual similarities? We know that the ancient world was enamored of Egypt. The 5th century historian Herodotus documented his travels there and remarked that Egypt was, quote, the gift of the Nile. But for modern times, it was the 19th century that gave way to the modern love affair with ancient Egypt. But how did this Egyptomania get started? This man. Napoleon may have failed in his conquest of Egypt, but he succeeded remarkably in his pursuit of capturing its cultural treasures. He brought 150 savants on his military expedition, who documented, mapped, and measured everything they could find. Their work resulted in a monumental publication called Description de l'Égypte, which led to Europe's explosive interest in all things Egypt. Look at these two works of art, a 1st century Egyptian mummy portrait and an oil painting by 19th century artist Manet. Their focused eyes, the flat pigment, such immediacy and yet so timeless. Did Manet admire the art of the Egyptians? Or consider these works, Picasso's figure on the left, in a pose obviously inspired by the type of Egyptian sculptures on the right. The visual vocabulary is strikingly similar in these works. But is there more to it? Who are their audiences? And what are they meant to convey, respectively? Some connections are a little tougher to see, but others are quite obvious. As art continues to change, the mystique of the ancient Egyptians remains, and it lives on through the art of today. But is this always a conscious choice? Does the modern artist choose to create their art with the ancient Egyptians in mind? Or is the admiration for the exotic and mysterious Egyptians ingrained in our consciousness? And is the 19th century Egyptomania the reason? These questions answered on December 7th in Ancient Egypt and Modern Art, The Untold Story.